Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I have made another list of the 10 best games of 2023 so far. You can also watch the other part of this subject in our channel. Tell me your opinion about these games, and if you think some games are missing, let me know in comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss our new videos.
We've tried to resist.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor takes what Fallen Order achieved and wall runs with it, then double jumps and air dashes straight into an epic lightsaber battle. Rather than taking us back to square one to begin Cal's journey as a Padawan again, we're trusted with control of a full-fledged Jedi Knight who we can grow into a master of superhuman mobility and fantastic and challenging combat. With a new set of larger, more diverse, and densely packed worlds to explore and a memorable cast of returning characters, Survivor tells a story that may be predictable but is still fun and at times emotional to watch play out. Launch performance issues aside, it's a sequel that does virtually everything better than the original, which was already an exceptional Star Wars game. If Respawn makes one more like this, it'll complete the best Star Wars trilogy in 30 years. Remnant 2 is a triumphant sequel that doesn't just reimagine the Souls-like genre as a co-op looter shooter, but absolutely nails that concept in nearly every way, including many that the original did not. With completely engrossing combat, challenging and memorable boss fights, ultra-dense build crafting options, incredibly cool procedurally generated levels, and a clever multiversal concept that allows for a ton of different adventures in one package, it's very likely going to become one of my most played games this year. No matter which part of the multiverse you find yourself in, you should do yourself a favor and play this gem. Blasphemous 2 is an excellent Metroidvania and a marked improvement over the original, even if it did occasionally make me cancel my lunch plans with its grotesqueries. What it lacks in originality with its design, it more than makes up for with its bizarre world, appalling story, and inspired look and sound. The new weapons and focus on platforming definitely helped sustain my enjoyment for the campaign's sizable duration, even when underwhelming enemy variety and unchallenging bosses leave something to be desired. Its stomach-churning religious torture porn might be as far as you can get from the adorable world of Hollow Knight, but you'd be hard-pressed to find something better to play while you continue your interminable wait for Silk Song. After 6 long years, Forza Motorsport is off the lift and back in our lives. It looks great, and it's brought with it the most impressive multiplayer we've seen in the series so far. With 500 cars and 20 track locations, it's hardly a small start, but now positioned as a platform, Forza Motorsport has the potential to expand into a seriously rich racing destination over the coming years. If Flight Simulator on 4 wheels is the plan, I'm here for it. First on the list of improvements Turn 10 should focus on is revamping the new RPG-inspired upgrade system that turns progression into an unnecessarily long road ahead of each individual car, and maybe bringing back the joys of split-screen multiplayer racing to complement the excellent online modes.
Now is the day cursed pirates have their way.
Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew is a peak example of the stealth tactics genre from a studio that is clearly mastering its craft. Its mission structure is spread across excellently entertaining levels with rich detail to find and master, while characters shine with voice performances, endearing humor, and colorful art that both delight and impress. With innumerable ways to approach its levels and an extremely smart integration of the practice of saving and reloading into the world's fiction, it's firing on all cylinders in all categories except perhaps enemy AI.
The Inquisition blocks our way. They see us as prey. Ignatia is their leader. You do well to exceed her. The treasure she pursues across the ocean blue. She'll conquer the brine for her grand design.
Jagged Alliance 3 is a smartly built, action-packed throwback tactical extravaganza that is enjoyable the whole way through. Its madcap sense of humor is very hit or miss. But for the most part, that doesn't hurt its ability to tell a story with just enough intrigue to keep you guessing, while not overcomplicating things too much. The huge variety of distinct characters, hand-built tactical maps, and objectives assure that a long campaign never goes stale, with limited but meaningful progression that let me build my dream squad and play almost exactly how I wanted to, with the added tension of trying to keep them alive through each combat encounter. If you know your way around a squad management game, you may want to turn the campaign difficulty up a notch for your first playthrough. But even when you're rolling in cash, this lead-slinging blowout is a hell of a good time. Humanity is a beautiful, modern reimagining of Lemmings that feels as esoteric and artsy as enhanced previous games, while ambitiously stepping onto new terrain for the action puzzle genre with the pitter-patter of countless little feet. It somehow manages to intermingle platforming, action, and real-time strategy elements with mind-bending finesse, and its open-endedness means I could be sitting here and tinkering with it for years, much like I have with other games with great level creators like Dreams and Little Big Planet. Humanity bursts out of left field with something so unexpectedly brilliant that I can't help but recommend it to everyone who's ever enjoyed a puzzle game.
What manner of evil transported us here?
Honkai Star Rail is the best free-to-play game of the year so far. Its stellar storytelling and satisfying progression systems offer dozens of hours of content that a Hoyo newcomer can enjoy, even without paying for gacha items or having played Honkai Impact 3rd or Genshin Impact. Combat boasts layers of strategy for those willing to dig into details without barring more casual players from enjoying it. Its world building also expands outside of the main story into the side missions and interactable objects, making an already captivating world even more lively. It surpasses even Genshin in my mind, and I can see myself playing even months from now.
Hell is coming.
Resist her temptation!
Diablo IV is a stunning sequel with near-perfect endgame and progression design that makes it absolutely excruciating to put down. The story is a pretty big disappointment despite still being a noticeable improvement over Diablo III, and there are some annoying bugs that need squashing. But the combat, the loot game, and both the sights and sounds of this world are impressive enough to smooth over those rough edges. Diablo IV takes the strategy of refining things the series already did so well rather than giving it a more substantial overhaul, and that careful and reverent path has shaped this massive sequel into one of the most polished ARPGs ever created, which makes slicing through the legions of the damned a hell of a good time.
Your lives and those of all humanity depend on what you do next. If we can't stop Lilith.
Forest. You would soon become a snack for one of the fairies who live there.
You know you've just played something special when you're left with a bittersweet feeling while the credits roll. As I closed the book on Bayonetta Origins, I kept thinking about how it was an absolute joy through and through. From its impressive, fantastical story moments full of childlike charm to its clever platforming puzzles and satisfying battles, this is a superb action-adventure where every piece comes together to create a wondrous playable storybook. Its wild dual-character concept doesn't really evolve much once you get the hang of it, and maybe its conclusion could have done more to leave a lasting impact. But it's a journey I'll cherish all the same, and one that's been brought to life through a beautiful art style, stellar voice performances, and an outstanding soundtrack. Bayonetta Origins puts a neat little bow on an iconic franchise, and I'm glad we got to see that there was so much more to our beloved witch.
Give you the power to save your mother.